the show. I'm Anna, and you're watching Anna Speaks Out. Thanks for being here. Hey everybody, so a week ago today now, Michelle McDaniel, who is one of my favorite YouTube creators, made a video about an apparent comedian named Matt Rife, if that's how you pronounce it. And he was joking about domestic violence. And being a survivor of severe domestic violence myself, I had some thoughts about it. And I thought it would make sense for me to share them. They might be a little bit different from what you would expect, but let's go.
Matt Rife is someone that started on Wild 'N Out. He was kind of weird looking. He was just like that. You know how in like a lot of black communities, they'll have like the one weird white dude in the mix, just, you know, throw him in there. That was Matt Rife. But that's pretty much how I knew him. And then over the years, he really worked on his physical appearance and made himself very good looking, fixed his jawline. There's like plastic surgery rumors. He started working out, got super buff, fixed those teeth, and bam, he took to TikTok and he blew up with mostly women. You know what TikTok is? TikTok is the land of really PC culture. So there's a lot of self-righteous people on TikTok who like to really nitpick every tiny little thing, and you know what that means? Jokes. Jokes that might not be very PC. So Matt Rife got so popular that Netflix gave him a Netflix special, and his audience was so excited. Female fan base, and they were so excited to go watch it, and then once they turned it on, they were horrified that he opened with a joke about domestic violence and then chased that sucker with a whole women should be in the kitchen and they wouldn't be getting hit if they were.
I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who like seats you at the restaurant had a black eye.
Well, that is very sad, but also not surprising because it is Baltimore, and according to the Baltimore Sun, as of 2021, domestic aggravated assaults had risen 35% from 266 to 359 incidents during the first 3 months of 2021. And somebody was asking Google, how can we stay safe in Baltimore? And they were advised, do not even inadvertently wander into these areas listed at night. West Baltimore. Avoid the Sandtown, Winchester area in West Baltimore, especially if you are traveling with family. Interesting.
A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? Yeah, it was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people?
I mean, that's just such an insane choice for any business to make, to have somebody with a black eye representing them, that it almost is kind of laughable to me. I mean, it could look like somebody who worked there did it, you know? Like, what are you doing, restaurant?
And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should, you know, put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know?
And that part did make me laugh the first time I heard it. That's the funniest part to me because, like, yeah, if I was that lady working at that restaurant and I had a black eye, I wouldn't even want my coworkers to see me. I'd try to cover it up with makeup, but that's never the easiest thing to do. And I would at the very least want to be in the back of the house. You know, it's funny because it sounds like the guy meant well, and then the way it came out, it just kind of sounded like this misogynist, sexist statement when it wasn't meant to be, so it makes it kind of funny. That's how comedy works. But people on TikTok don't seem to understand that.
And it made me realize that sometimes if you don't have oppression of your own to pull from, you try to make fun of the oppression of others. Did you laugh? You want to make fun of domestic violence with men.
If you're like getting domestically abused at home.
So the way that she said that was a little bit funny to me because domestic means at home. So it's like a redundant statement, and she's trying to make this gotcha, you know, response, but she just sounds kind of a little bit ignorant.
You're like getting domestically abused at home, dog. Like, maybe do me a favor, like don't come into work.
And as a result, now women and men don't find him funny.
Try to be cool for a second, because I gotta say this. If I don't say it, nobody's gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But listen, some of y'all don't deserve a crop top. That's all.
I mean, is that really incorrect? Deserve would be a bit of a strong word, but it's not attractive to be obese because it's not healthy, and a little bit of shame for things like that can actually be helpful.
And so a lot of people were asking what I think about his jokes, what I think about Matt Rife.
And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
A lot of people are taking this as in he turned his backs on his female audience. He abandoned the people that really cared about him. He hates women and supports men that punch women in the face. There's a lot on TikTok if you just go right now.
So as far as that last part where he said if she could cook, she probably wouldn't have the black eye, my initial thought was that's just kind of a dumb joke, and I didn't really see any humor in it at first. But after basically having processed it some more, it occurred to me that whatever man or woman, because fun fact, lesbian relationships actually have the highest percentage of BB in them.
Let me kill some myths right now. First and foremost, all women can be abusive. The reason why I'm bringing this up too is because I personally have been in a few abusive relationships. I actually had an ex-girlfriend that got aroused by creating turmoil between us just so we can have makeup sex. Like, listen, that was fun, but that's toxic, boo. I don't need that. I had another ex that every time she got intoxicated and she got frustrated, she'd find a way to put her hands on me.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Tania B here. I wanted to make this video on why did I abuse my girlfriends, and I've had several relationships where I was like mentally, verbally, and sometimes physically abusive to my partners who I was with, and it's nothing that I'm proud about.
I had an ex, you know, so we was together for 5 years. I say we fought almost every day within those 5 years.
Physically? Fist fight?
Physically.
Like,
Lesbians, stop putting your hands on your girlfriend.
Whoever would do that, whoever would hit a woman because she can't cook very well, is the joke themselves. Like, that's just one of the stupidest, most immature, childish things anyone could possibly do, that it makes them a joke. But, you know, it's obviously if it happened in real life, it wouldn't be funny. It just, you know, thinking about such a crazy idea. Again, like, in the same way that it was crazy for the restaurant to put a person with a black eye as the front of the house person, as the person greeting people at the entrance to the restaurant, it's just insane for somebody to hit somebody because they can't cook very well. So, I guess that's the joke. And now let's hear more about what Michelle thought.
At first, when I saw him, I didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. I was like, this is a nice looking man doing stand-up comedy. And he's fit? Honey, is that a thing? Yes, it is. There's things that I saw that I was like, I would chuckle out of it, and some things that I'd just be like this. So for the people who are asking me, do I find him funny? There's times that I find him funny, there's times that I don't find him funny. I'm not much of a stand-up comedian shit. Even the best comedians can't have me laughing for their whole set. But that's kind of something that you have to understand about comedy, is that not every joke is going to land with every single person ever. But all in all, I think that he got very popular because he got popular on TikTok because of his looks, because women really thirsted after him, and he ran with it. Netflix saw it, and now he has a Netflix special. I think he's going to be just fine, because people who go watch like comedy, stand-up comedy for one, that's kind of what it is. That's what comedians do. They offend people. They say jokes that other people won't say.
And yeah, in response to that last thing that she said about how comedians, basically what they do is to offend people, and people kind of laugh at the spectacle, I guess you could say. That's a big part of why I like Michelle McDaniel. Her channel was originally called My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You. And I have respect for people who, like myself, are not afraid to go out there and say what's on their mind when they don't actually mean harm by it, and they're not concerned about people getting offended by it, because a lot of people will get offended by a lot of things that are not actually meant to be offensive. And one last thing, what could actually be more empowering than to be able to laugh at the thing that was supposed to be your downfall, the thing that was supposed to destroy you? As a domestic abuse survivor myself, yeah, I went through a lot of trauma. It was very horrible a lot of the time, but to be able to laugh at something like that now is just very healing and makes me feel like a conqueress. So those are my thoughts on it. I can't wait to see what yours are, so I'll see you in the comments. Thank you again so much for being here today. Please like the video, share it around, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. After basically having processed